This is Chapter 2 of Star Jumper, Journal of a Cardboard Genius by Frank Ash. My spaceship. It's never easy doing anything when Jonathan is around. As soon as I brought the boxes inside the house, he latched on to me like a tick and started tugging on the belt loops of my jeans. "Are you building something for me?" He pestered me all the way upstairs to my room. One time, I built Jonathan a simple telescope for show and tell. I made it in 5 minutes from a piece of plastic I found in the trash, a broken magnifying glass, a paper towel roll, and a little duct tape. So now, the creep expects me to devote my entire life to making things for him. "Yeah, I'm building you a coffin," I said. "I don't think so," he replied with that wormy little voice of his. "I think you're building me a castle. You're building me a castle so I can be a knight. Are you going to be my horse?" "No," I said. "I'm going to be your horse." No, I said. "I'm not going to be your horse." "That's okay. I'll be the king and you can be my servant." "It's not a castle," I told him. "Now please, go away." Mom once advised me, always say please when talking to Jonathan. You'd be surprised at how effective it is. Well, so far it hasn't worked at all. "I just want to watch," said Jonathan. He picked up the utility knife I was going to use to cut the cardboard, and I want to help, too. "Give me that." I grabbed the knife from his hand. "You're not supposed to play with knives. Now get out of here." "I get it," he said as I pushed him toward the door. You want to surprise me. That's why you want me to leave." "I want to surprise you, all right," I said, and I thought to myself, won't you be surprised when you wake up someday and I'm gone forever, and living on the other side of the galaxy? I shoved Jonathan into the hall and slammed the door in his face. You'd think he would catch my drift and go find something else to do, but he never does. "I'll just guard the door so nobody bothers you," he shouted. "Thanks," I said and started to work. I love cardboard. It's the perfect material for my kind of work. It's fast, it's flexible, it's everywhere, and it's free. I began by installing the main power unit and stellar drive in the biggest box. This is also where I'll sleep and store food. This is also where I'll sleep and store food, water, and spare cargo. The second biggest box is for the bridge of my ship, where the control panels and navigation equipment will be located. I'll be doing all my navigating electronically, but I cut a circular hole in this box so I can look out at the Milky Way anytime I want to. In the third box, I installed the master computer and radar dish. I built everything according to my own unique design, mostly with stuff I collect from the street on garbage day and keep in plastic bins under my bed. For example, my radar dish is made from, here he has his radar dish diagram that has some gears from an old clock, aluminum foil, copper wire, plastic straws, nylon yarn, an empty soup can, and old radio parts. For Homeland Security reasons, I'm leaving out certain important details in this notebook. I wouldn't want my plans to fall into the wrong hands, but for those of you reading these notes, hoping to build your own spaceship, I will give you one piece of free advice. Always use duct tape, the silver kind. Never use Scotch tape or even masking tape. That stuff is so flimsy, your ship will fall apart before you reach the Van Allen belts. Of course, I didn't make everything all at once. I've been planning and working on the main components of my spaceship for weeks. As soon as I finished something, I put it on top of my shelf of my closet, where Jonathan can't reach. The hardest part to construct was the stellar drive. It doesn't work like most of today's spaceships. I'd be an old man with a long gray beard before I set the solar system in a spacecraft of that sort. Whoops, I meant to say before I left the solar system in a spacecraft of that sort. My engine works according to my very own space warp design, which I based on the latest developments in superstring theory. Instead of propelling you through space like a bullet, my stellar drive shrinks the space between where you are and where you want to go. When you can shrink 1 trillion miles down to 1/1000th of an inch, you can go anywhere in the universe in the blink of an eye. Best of all, my stellar drive requires such a small amount of energy. It runs on only 2 AA batteries. It took me less than an hour and a half to build the hull and outfit my spaceship. That's probably a record of some sort. I could have done it sooner, but Jonathan wouldn't stop bugging me. He kept peering through the keyhole and saying things like, "Hey, I can't see anything. Get out of the way." It got so annoying that I had to tape over the keyhole, but that didn't shut him up. "Don't forget to put a flag on top," he said, "and make sure the walls are strong. That's the whole idea of a castle. The walls have to be strong and tall. The taller, the better." After a while, he started shoving crayon drawings under my drawer. "You see? That's what it has to look like. Make sure it looks exactly like this," he shouted as each new drawing came sliding toward me. "See the turrets? It's got to have lots of turrets." Here's the drawing that little brother Jonathan is slipping underneath his door. Because he couldn't see what was happening, every second sentence out of his mouth was, "So how's it going?" and "Are you done yet?" I just ignored him, which is the one thing he really hates. Before long, he began pounding on my door. "Hey, let me in," he shouted. "I want to take a nap." "Take a nap? Give me a break. Since when does a 6-year-old want to take a nap?" "Take a nap in your own room," I told him. "I can't. My bed is too lumpy," he whined and kept on pounding. The noise was really loud, and I just tuned it out. My ship was ready to test. I stepped back to admire my handiwork. What a beauty! Every part of it was unique. Every part of it was me. If everything worked according to plan, I'd soon be free of Jonathan forever. I climbed aboard and flipped on the main power unit. Then I turned up the throttle just 1 notch. Suddenly, my spaceship leaped into the air and hovered a few inches from the ceiling. "Wow, this ship is as jumpy as a frog," I thought. And right then and there, I named her Star Jumper. That is the end of chapter 2.